What's going on, Guardians? In today's video, I wanted to do a bit longer of a video. This is going to be explaining all of the lingo used inside of Bungie's LFGs and inside of the Discord LFGs, what you should do, the do's and don'ts of LFG groups, what you should know, and why a lot of people don't necessarily like LFGing inside of Destiny 2. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So the first place I want to start is going to be Bungie's official Find a Fire Team LFG. This is going to be really easy for finding easy fire teams. It's very easy to understand. You have all your different platforms here. You have your different languages, and you have your different activities. This is going to be very easy, especially more for newer players. And this is where I am going to firstly explain the first of the lingo. So if you go to any of the raid tabs or dungeon tabs, what you are going to find is firstly Master. Now, obviously Master is the harder version of a raid or a dungeon. Then you are going to have Fresh. Now, what Fresh means is it means you are going from the very beginning of the raid or dungeon, and it means they haven't started from an encounter. Then you have Know What to Do, or KWTD. This means know what to do, and essentially means that you must know what to do. Essentially, the person that put out this post is looking for people who know what they're doing inside of the Root of Nightmares, and they are doing a fresh run, meaning they are starting from the very beginning. Then you will have specific jobs as inside of, the Root of Nightmares. So for this post, it is saying it is the harder version, the master version. Nez, which is short for Nezarec, or the final boss. A lot of people will put boss CP. And need runners, meaning they need people to run on the sides to finish the encounter. There are quite a few people that will put that they need jobs. So like this person put that they are on planets, meaning they're on the third encounter. Then you have challenge. Challenge is very important. It means you are doing the challenge that is given inside of the dungeon. So for instance, this week inside of the Root of Nightmares, it is in the third encounter, and it is the Cosmic Equilibrium Challenge. If you join one of these challenge groups, 9 times out of 10, they are going to want you to know how to do the challenge and what you're doing. The next thing we are going to have is teaching. Now, the thing is, not all of these are going to have the know what to do tag. Some will say teaching. And some will say looking for someone to teach me how to. This is one of the things, and this is when I'm going to start getting into the Discord LFG side of things. A lot of people put on here, hey, I need somebody to teach me how to do, a specific encounter or a specific raid. The thing is with this LFG, and this is why personally I go with the Discord LFG, is this LFG is not necessarily a, completely friendly place. And don't get me wrong, I've found some very, very great players and very, very nice people through Bungie's, LFG system. But the Discord LFG 9 times out of 10 is going to have better players and nicer players. So let's head over there. So obviously we have the fresh, we have the boss CPs, but the biggest difference is going to be that you have firstly RR and secondly LF insert number M. Then you are also going to have join codes. So LF or LF number M is going to say, look, it pretty much means looking for, and then the number of players. So for this, for instance, this guy is looking for 4 players, and he has the boss CP of the Vow of the Disciple raid, and the RR is going to be raid room. So as you can see, there are all these raid rooms. He will be in raid room 39. I will have the link to this Discord linked in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment. The next thing we're going to have is going to be the join codes. These are going to be very important, and essentially what you will do with them is, if you go back into the game, you will put this into the fire team chat, and then you just go /join, and it will allow you to join that person, especially if you copied down their code. And then we are going to have all of these different things. So the nice thing about the Discord is going to be that you have a tab for every single raid, as well as dungeons, nightfalls, open world content, etc. A lot of these people know what they're doing inside of the game. And that is one of the things about the Discord LFG, is going to be a lot of people want you to know what you're doing. Now, if you are looking to be taught, or you don't know what to do, there is a Find a Sherpa or a raid teacher page. A lot of people, don't necessarily want to go in and watch a Rick Kakis video or a Dado video to figure out how to do a raid. That's fine. But don't go into a know what to do raid group if you don't know what you're doing. That is where Sherpas come in. A Sherpa is essentially a raid teacher. They are somebody who will teach you every single mechanic of the raid, as well as being kind of a fall guy if somebody messes up or something like that. They're the guy who knows what they're doing to the extent that they can probably do the raid with very low amounts of people, if not doing it solo. And they know the ins and outs, everything about the raid. I personally am a raid Sherpa, and if you guys need any sort of raid help or dungeon help, let me know, and you can put that down in the comments, or you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll have those linked in the description. I also do stream on Twitch, and I do raid help as well as dungeon help and nightfall help on there, and I'll also have that linked in the description. The next thing I want to cover is the fact that Bungie is actually implementing a better in-game matchmaking system. I should say an in-game LFG system. So what we currently have is the guided games, which, if you've ever done one of these before, I will say right now, it is bad. It has been in beta for 6 years, and will forever be in beta until it is updated / removed, and Bungie goes to a better system starting next season. So for this, essentially, you can pick to be either a seeker or a guide. I'm not going to touch too much on this, but I am going to touch on Bungie's updated version. So currently, if you want to, you have to, like I said, be a seeker or a guide. And essentially, you wait in this queue for a very long time, as of right now. And you do the raid if you can find somebody. Now, Bungie has said what they're going to do, and I don't know how they're going to do this, whether they're going to just update this tab, the guided the guided games tab on the raids, and then add that to things like dungeons and nightfalls, or if Bungie is going to add a separate tab up in the top of the screen here, or add on to the Friends tab or like the Socials tab. But essentially what Bungie is going to do is they are going to allow for fire teams to be made inside of the game instead of having to go to their website or the Discord LFGs, and you can do this all from inside of the game, as well as being able to use things like fire team chat to make things even easier. Well, I think that about sums up the whole LFG experience inside of Destiny 2. If you guys have any questions about LFG, if you guys have any questions about Sherpaing, any of the raids, things like that, make sure you either DM me or you can put it down in the comments, as I do read many of my comments on my videos, and I do read all of my DMs. Anyways, that's going to be it from me. Aegon out.